Hey up folks, welcome to Sonofdel's live vlog on this Saturday the 23rd of November. Not long to go now till all the Christmas stuff, all the Santa stuff and what have you. Just hold on, that's a bit too bright. Oh, excuse me, 1 minute. It's a little bit better. Right, so today's vlog consists of 2 unboxings, 1 book club, Abominable book club for this month, and also a special box, an 80th anniversary box, which I picked up off Zavvi, which I have no idea what's in it. Even though I've had it for about 3 weeks, I have not opened it. I'll also be doing a little bit of a video montage of me dog, which I'll explain why later. Also, what I've been up to since my last vlog, and the final word today is going to be coping. So, enjoy. Coming up first of all are the 2 unboxings. Firstly, the Abominable book club. I apologise for the reflection on my glasses. I'll try and do what I can anyway, because it keeps flickering off my glasses, especially when I do that. So I'll try and keep my head as low as possible. Now, first unboxing, Abominable book club box for this month. Now, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of shavings in this, but let's see what we've got. The first item, oh dear. Is a tote bag, and as you can see, it looks absolutely awesome. Zombran, for brains that crunch and never rot, Zombran always hits the spot. They are coming to get you. Hunger! And it's basically a spoof of a breakfast cereal for zombies. And that's the first item, and it's a tote bag, as you can see. It's a tote bag. So that's the first item. Secondly, a thin book called Coup de Grace, No Hope, No Exit, and it's by Sophia Ajram. Trying to keep it out of the light if I can. It's not easy. Just hold on a second. Is it better without the light? Is that better? Yes, it is actually. I'll leave the light off. There you go. Sophia Ajram, and it's called Coup de Grace, and it's a thin book. It's a novella. That's the second item. Oh, this looks more like it. This one is by Jenna Clake, and it says wonderfully witchy, and it's called Disturbance. As you can see, cool book, paperback, nice one, that quite thick, that one. Yep. The next item, we always have a nice sweet treat. We have got a popcorn shed birthday cake, gourmet popcorn. As you can see, birthday popcorn. I don't really do popcorn, but I know somebody who does, so that'll go to a good home. Very cool. And it's a British one as well. It says family owned, made in Britain. So it's a British product, that's good. Now, oh God, wow. The famous book. Hold on a second. This is the second-hand book. There's always a second-hand book in them. Put that down there. See what we've got. Excuse me a minute. Dean Koontz, actually. Oh, it is. You know, this is one of the very first horror books I ever read from the book club. It was called the Mystery and Thriller Guild, and this was one of the first books I ever read, and I've not read it since. And it's Dean Koontz, or should I say Dean R. Koontz, and it's The Bad Place. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a really good book. I haven't seen it for a long time. So I'm looking forward to rereading that. Seems I haven't read it for, what, 30 odd years, maybe 30 years. Anyway, that's me second-hand book. Also, as I pointed out before, you get a nice little bag full of drinks, and in this time we have a nice assortment again, as usual. We've got a Nescafe, we've got a Galaxy Hot Chocolate, Twinings Every Day. A birchall, lemongrass and ginger. Well, I can't drink that because I'm allergic to ginger, so that's going. And also a coffee bag. I'm getting into these coffee bags. I've never really thought about them before I started having this book club subscription. But I've had 5 or 6 of them now, and they're quite nice. They really are. I mean, I thought they were going to be quite, you know, just a gimmicky type thing. But they hold a lot of flavour. They really do hold a lot of flavour. So that's my drinks thing. There's also another popcorn shed one. This one is Toffee Apple gourmet popcorn. Toffee Apple. Again, like I said, made in Britain. Proper British product. Now, the papers at the bottom. Always like my papers at the bottom. Sometimes you get these where you've got a letter from the author here. The letter from the author of Coup de Grace. And what I like about it is you've also got, looks like an old ticket, like a travel ticket. And that's part of obviously the stuff that's in here, and it's signed by the authoress, and it's got a number on it as well. Valid for 1 round trip only, non-transferable. So yeah, that's a ticket stub. I've got another signed one there again from Sophia. As you can see, another signed one. I'm going to have to get a book to put these in, to be honest with you, because I've got a fair few of them now. This says mutation facts. I think this is a bit of a it's a recipe you wouldn't find in a cookbook, let's put it that way. As you can see, it's got some very, very bizarre things on it, that has. And that's a sticker, by the way, that's a sticker. That's come with it. These are what I loved seeing, to be honest with you. Bookmarks, I like bookmarks. This one says, Session 9, the official novelisation, is based on the classic 2001 motion picture. As you can see, that's another bookmark, and it says at the bottom, Echo on Publishing. Again, a bit more information at the back there. I've also got the usual Abominable Book Club. Now what I like about this is it's got a QR code there, and if you scan it, it gives you all the information about the box. I meant to tell you, by the way, there's 2 boxes. There's the normal box, which is just your books, and then there's what's called the Full Guts box, which is well named, and that's the one I subscribe to. I get the Full Guts box, and it's $24.99 a month. And then another cool bookmark, and this one says, oh, that's an old horror film, Suspiria. Bad luck isn't bought by broken mirrors, but by broken minds. Ooh, what a cool saying. And that's another bookmark. And that is my book club subscription for Abominable Book Club for November. Now I've got a special unboxing here. This is a big box, as you can see. This is a big beastie box. And you can see there what it says. It's a special edition box, this is, and I do not know what's in it. I have not got a clue. So you're going to see it at the same time as me. Right, we start off. Oh, we've got some limited edition covers, actually. The covers for magazines, covers for old comics. First one, show you these when I can. The Invincible Iron Man. That's number 1. Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy. These are obviously taken from old comic covers. Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. These are made cool posters to just put in a 10x8 frame and just put on your wall, wouldn't they, really? Kid's bedroom would be brilliant. Hang on. Yeah, last one. Journey into Mystery, and of course we've got Thor there, as you can see. Thor. That's the first item. Second item. Wow. Whoa. We have a t-shirt, but we have a really cool t-shirt, actually. As you can see, it's got the old comics logo on it. Nice big t-shirt that, that'll fit me lovely. The information for this box is underneath, by the way, but with it being a limited edition box, I don't know if they've still got any in. So that's the second thing. Third item. We have a set of coasters. We have a set of Marvel Comics coasters. They're all the same and there's 4 of them. And I drink a lot, so them comics, as you can see, like I say, there's all 4. Yeah, I can get the fingers working. All 4. Nice set of 4 coasters. That's the third item. Ooh, what we got here? We got a 4th item. Oh, it's a mug. I do love mugs. I've been on about getting a new mug actually, so let's see what this is. Oh yeah, Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics mug. Nice big chunky size, that, just right for my hand, because I struggle with cups. So to have a mug that I'll be able to sort of keep hold of. That could be getting used actually, that could be my new mug. The other thing is, I was only talking to my friends yesterday about needing a new mug because mine's sort of seen better days, shall we say. That's the 4th item. And last but definitely not least, we have, oh, look at this. Look at this, folks. We have a hoodie. And on the hoodie, we've got the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Superheroes, and it lists them. But then on the back, we also have something cool. Cover of the Avengers comic. And it's a proper hoodie as well. Is it a pocketed one? Oh, it's one of my favourites. It's got a pouch. It's not got a pocket. It's got the pouch so you can put your stuff in there and you can put your hand all the way through, keep them warm. Because the one thing I have noticed is the temperatures have definitely changed. So in this box you get 1 hoodie. 1 t-shirt. 1 cool mug. A bag with 4 coasters. And some prints from comic covers, basically. I think the first editions, these. They're very old anyway. August 83 is one. And there's others. What's the other ones? Hang on, August 83. 16th of May, but it doesn't tell you the year. But that one was only 12 cents, so you can tell that was a while ago. But yeah, so old covers. And that's that box. And I think it was $29.99. I'll have a look, I'll check on that one and put the details underneath, but I know it wasn't very, very expensive, so there you have it, and that is the box, and it's a 80th anniversary of Marvel Comics. What I've been up to since my last vlog, well, to be honest with you, one thing has taken up a lot of my time, and that is unfortunately I had to have my dog put to sleep. She was a good age. She was actually older than I thought by 2 years. She was actually 16 and I thought she was 14, so she was doing okay, but unfortunately she'd lost control of her bowels and her bladder, and also her back legs had gone. She was thin, really, really thin, and she's gone down from like 29 kilos 4 years ago to about 16 kilos. It was the right thing to do. It was hard because it was a connection between me and my late wife that we got 11.5 years ago, so it was, you know, an important part of my life. It's been strange getting used to not being here. I'll put a little, coming up after this anyway, I've done a little bit of a video with footage from the last 11.5 years, some photos, some videos, all about the dog. It's like a tribute to her, if you like. So yeah, but other than that, no, it's been quite quiet, but it's also been bloody cold. It's been very, very cold, and today it hasn't stopped raining since I got up, so we're obviously, you know, we're at that time of year where the weather's going to be chronic. Although it does say it's going to be 14 degrees today, and it was only 7 yesterday, so it should be warmer with a bit of luck. Now obviously coming up, with it being the 23rd, I've only got another 8 days and I start my advent calendars, and I've got 2. I've got a Jigsaw advent calendar, and I've also got a Netflix advent calendar, which I'm very much looking forward to. I haven't done any jigsaws this month. I really haven't. There's two reasons. One, I haven't been able to get myself motivated. And two, it's been too dark in the living room and I've had to put the light on, which means when the light shines down, I can't see the pieces. Now, I have got a table in my dining room that I can do them on, but the dining room gets so cold. It really does get ridiculous. It really does. So I haven't been doing any jigsaws. I've done a little bit of reading, but not much. My main focus has been on TV, because when I last did a vlog, I was doing a 31-day horror film countdown, and I managed to get all the way through 31 days. And if you go onto my blog on sonofdel.blogspot.com, you will see that I have done a post listing my top 5. If you go onto my Facebook page, again, Sonofdel, and you look, you will see that I also did a page, again, listing my top 5 horror films. Now that's all finished, so I've started watching a series which was absolutely brilliant, and it's called A Touch of Frost, and it stars the legendary David Jason. Now, up until the point of David Jason being in this, I'd only ever seen him in comedies. I first saw him in Porridge many years ago playing Blanco, and I then saw him in Open All Hours playing Granville. Then obviously Open All Hours. Then obviously Only Fools and Horses playing Del Boy, which set him up to legendary status anyway, and also playing Pop Larkin in Darling Buds of May, which is a comedy drama-ish. When he first took on the role of D.I. Jack Frost, I didn't know whether I was going to get into it or not. I thought, this is very, very strange because he's a comedian. Why is he doing this? I was hooked from the first episode. You would not have watched it thinking this guy used to do in comedy. He plays it brilliantly. He's got a little bit of humour in there occasionally, but it is not a comedy. It is not a comedy. It is a police investigation drama, and some of the murders and some of the killings, some of the deaths are quite rough, but you don't see the details. You don't see anything gruesome, which is good. Now, there's series and series of this, and I've got the box set of all of it, and already so far I'm on season 10. And I only started it about 2 weeks ago, 2 and a bit weeks ago, but it is so engaging that you watch it every night. It is one of those series. Now, I thoroughly recommend it. It is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. I cannot fault it in any way, shape or form. And for me to give a series 10 out of 10 means it's good. You know, all the different characters in it, from his superintendent, the people he works with, the people he deals with, the famous faces that keep popping up in it every so often. You know, it makes for a fantastic series, and it leaves you guessing. It's never nothing straightforward. And part of the fun of them is trying to guess who's done it and seeing if you're as clever as Detective Frost. Now, originally these were based on a book by R.D. Wingfield, the book, the Touch of Frost books, and I've been trying to get hold of them to read them to see if there's any difference between him and the character he plays. But I haven't got them yet. But when I do, I will definitely be doing a review for them as well. Because D.I. Frost, because he's so old school, he doesn't do everything by the book. He doesn't do everything to regulation. He cuts corners. He writes information down on the back of gas bill envelopes and all sorts of stuff. He doesn't do anything methodical, which gets on his inspector's nerves completely. The person who's in charge, called Mullet, he can't stand his methods, but he knows that they work. He knows that he's a bloody good copper. And this, for me, was one of David Jason's top things. Yes, he was a comedian, and Only Fools and Horses will be my forever best comedy in the world. No problem with that. But this has got to be my favourite detective series by some miles. Now, over the last few weeks, my sister's been down, Mandy, who's come up from Stoke, and they took me to Cleveley's. Now, while I was there, I managed to pick up a series called Ashes to Ashes, which I heard was absolutely brilliant. You know, absolutely brilliant. And I've been able to get hold of all of Ashes to Ashes now. I've got all of it, including the sequel, which can't remember the title of it for a minute. Don't ask me why, but I know it's another David Bowie song. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Now, the funny thing was, while I was watching Frost the other day, I didn't realise that Philip Glenister, who's out of it, actually appears in A Touch of Frost, which completely threw me, because that's what I'm going to be watching. I'm either watching that next or my new Tricks box set. I'm not sure which. I've got a couple of options, so I don't know. I might watch another detective series, or I might watch a comedy box set for a change. But I've still got a good about 8-9 discs of Frost left, because it's in a big box set. Now, one of the other things I've been doing is obviously sorting stuff out ready for Christmas. Now, I don't really want to celebrate Christmas that much, because it's still hard for me. I know it'll be the second Christmas without Deb, but for me it feels like the first, because last Christmas I was like a zombie. I don't really remember much about it. I know my sister did everything she could, and my best friends and neighbours, who I see as family anyway, did everything they could. People did everything to help me through it, but I don't remember that much about it, because I was in a fog. So this year is probably going to be the hardest, because it's going to feel like the first Christmas. I'll be still celebrating it, don't get me wrong. I'll still be buying presents and, you know, going for a Christmas dinner around my friend, like I say, my next door neighbour's friends, family. From now on, I'll just refer to them as family. I don't want to confuse you. They're not family, but they are family to me. They're family to me, and that's my best mate, Tony, and his wife, Shell. And I go down there every day for a cup of coffee, and I just see them as family. I see them as a brother and sister sort of thing, you know. Anyway, yeah, so Christmas for me isn't about celebrating everything and going to Christmas markets and, you know, going Christmas shopping and all that sort of thing. Most of my Christmas shopping will be done from home. That's a definite. I'll be doing what I normally do, buying people presents and sending them off and all stuff like that, but I won't be going overboard. I am going to be starting watching some Christmas movies from the 1st of December onwards, and I've got plenty, trust me. Me and Deb accumulated quite a pile of Christmas movies. So that will be sort of my next thing I'm going to be watching, as well as whatever I decide, either a comedy box set or a police thriller. But yeah, that's what I've been up to really. Coming up next, I've got a lovely little video montage and pictures as well of my late dog Jess, bless her, who unfortunately I had to have put to sleep. And I know now she'll be being walked all the time by Deb, and they've been reunited, which makes me smile. So you enjoy this, and I hope it raises a chuckle. What are you doing? What? Yeah, what's up, Belly? What's up, Belly? Pardon? What was that? What was that?
We're doing Jess. We're doing deeply. We're doing. Oh, we're doing. What's up?
Oh. My elbow. Get ready for the bear noises. Get ready. Missed. Still missed. Oh, you're giving me this time, do you, you weirdo? Hello. Puffy pouches, huh? Puffy cheeks. Puffy cheeks. Puffy cheeks. Gotcha. I want one.
You're very trusting.
I have faith in my dog. Arr, big tart. All gone.
Hiya, Davey. Who's taken you a year? Ah. Hiya. Hiya. Ready. Ready. It's mine. Ha. Hiya. Hiya.
Mine.
Hiya. Ah. Don't pull his ear off. Ready? Hiya. Don't pull his ear off. Don't pull his ear off. Ready? 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 So taking your best part of the year. It's mine. It's mine. Ready? Ready? The dog. Yeah. It's mine. It's mine. Ready? Ready? You're just more interested in pulling his ear off, aren't you?
To lie here and have a belly rub.
Because of course you do that when we're trying to do the lapping.
Sorry I look tired. Because I am. I had a boop, a boop. Now my last word is coping. And it's all about basically how I've had to adjust and adapt my life and how I've coped with grieving. Because let me tell you something, right? Grieving cannot be categorised. Grieving is not put in a book. You cannot work your way through a book and get through grieving. I do not believe that, because everybody's grief is personal to them. My grief for Deb is personal to me, and it's different than the grief somebody else feels for Deb, if you know what I mean, because of she was my wife, she was my life. Now, I didn't want to cope, I will be honest with you. All the way through December, I wanted to be dead. I wanted to die. I wanted to go. I didn't want to be here. There was no purpose for me to be here. I wanted to end it all. And I could have done it easily. And my way of going would have been a glass of Jack Daniels, 20 tramadol, drink it all, go sleep, don't wake up. That was my plan. I even had it set up so that I knew exactly what was going to happen. I'd got my computer open with a Word document so that people would know what had happened and how they could help, blah, blah, blah. But then one day, my sister came down again, because she used to come down every night, and I had a big explosion. Literally all of it came out of me, all the grief, all the feelings and everything. And believe it or not, from that day, things changed. Things changed. It was like a valve. I'd released all the tension that was building up in me. And there was a lot. Trust me, there was a lot. I did not even have any motivation to do anything in that month whatsoever. I didn't want to be alive, so I certainly didn't motivate myself. Now, once I'd got rid of all that tension, then I had to know that I was going to have to start coping or acclimatizing to it, if you like. I had to basically, it was a different life for me. It was a totally different change. Now, once I'd got Deb's service out the way at the start of January, then things started to speed up a little bit, because I knew there was a court case and blah blah blah. I needed to get all the information, and I had to make plans for this and plans for that. Now, I was coping okay in the daytime. That seemed to be okay in the daytime, because it was coming up to that time of year where the light nights were coming in. I managed to get through that. I managed to get through February, March, April, because that's when it's when it started getting lighter. And I got through all of summer, which is good. Now, we didn't have much of a summer, I will be honest, but I had to start coping, and I had to start saying to myself, look, you've got to work your way through your grief. You've got to work your way through your grief. You can't let it eat at you. You've got to face it. You've got to say, look, this is a part of my life. This is something that I can't control it. I can't control what happened. I can only control what happens now. Now, my first wake-up call was basically me saying to myself, what would Deb want? What would my late wife want for me? Would she want me to be with her right now? Would she want me to end my life? No, she wouldn't. Would she want me to crumble and disappear into nothing? No, she wouldn't, because she was full of life. She was that kind of person. Now, because I had a good support network of family and friends, you know what I mean, I was able to cope with it a lot better, because I had somebody who listened to me. I had somebody I could talk to, and they wouldn't get fed up of hearing about Deb, because they loved Deb just as much, you know, in a different way obviously, but they loved Deb just as much. And that helped me to cope. The worst times for me are the night times, because they feel empty. They feel really, really empty. Them are the times where I have conversations with my wife. I do talk to her still, of course I do, yeah. I'll look at a photograph, I'll remember things that made me smile. I'll even go to sleep sometimes at night, and the last thing I'll be thinking of is her, Deb, and the wedding day, or holidays we've been on, or trips, or even just everyday stuff. And that's my way of coping. Now, yes, I did throw myself into stuff like jigsaws and surveys and stuff like that, and I tried to sort of block it all out. And it took me a long time before I did learn to cope. Now, people have said to me, a few people have said to me, I don't know how you did it, I don't know how I'd survive if it happened to me, or I lost my husband, or I lost my wife. And the thing is, you don't know how you're going to cope. That's the thing. You can't plan anything. You can't say to yourself, oh, I'll be fine, I'll deal with it like this, or I'll deal with it like that. And you can even make promises to your partner that you'll find somebody new and carry on with your life and blah, blah, blah. You don't know until it happens. Now, I've got no intention of getting back on the dating side. I just haven't. I can't even see myself with anybody else at the moment. I can't, you know. Now, some people say, after 6 to 12 months, something I was reading the other day that said literally after 12 months you might be ready for a new relationship. Well, I was with Deb for 23 years, and I would always, if somebody came into my life now, I'd be comparing them, and it's not fair. It's not fair for me to compare how my wife was with how this other person might be with me. There might be something they do different, something they say different, and I'll be constantly comparing it in my head. Now, Deb was a one-off. I don't care what anybody says. For me, she was a one-off. I'll never meet anybody like Deb again. You know, you get that once in your life. You're not going to get it twice. And because of that, I'm quite ready to cope with being on my own, because I'm not on my own, because I've got this network around me. The only times I have to fill are the night times, because in the daytimes I can go up my sisters if I want to. I can go up in the evening. Tony and Shell, you know, they're brilliant. They said I can go around there literally any time, morning, afternoon, night, it doesn't matter. Just let them know and I can go round. So I've got that. Now, I have got a great big massive pile of jigsaws right next to me of about 20, which I'm going to be doing. Now, I haven't done them yet, but they're there, and they're going to help me as well, because some of the wintry days are going to be like today, a whitewash of rain, nothing to do. So I'm going to have things to keep me entertained, to keep me occupied. And that's what coping is all about. You basically have to start your life from scratch. You're making a cup of tea for one. You're doing food for one. You're doing the dishes of one person. You know, I haven't even got my dog now that I can say, oh, she takes up some of my time, or I have to look out for my dog, I have to go to the vets for a medication. I haven't got none of that no more. I've just got me. So now, I know it sounds really, really strange, now I'm quite entitled to be selfish because I've only got to think about myself. And I'm not used to doing that. You ask anybody, the one thing to describe me would not be selfish. I'm pretty sure of that. If people, you know, if you were asked people one word to describe me, not many people would say selfish. I can't think of anybody who would actually, because I've always been one of those people who wants to help others. I've always been one of those who wants to look out for others and make sure they're okay, you know. I don't want somebody to think that I'm just thinking of me, 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 me. You know, I mean, I've had to adapt my life, and I've had to adapt everything about my life, whether it be going shopping, because I go with, like I say, Tony and Shell next door. Sometimes I do online shopping. But I've also had to get used to other stuff. Before I was sleeping downstairs because I had to, because of the dog. Now I'm sleeping downstairs because I want to. I find it more comforting to know that I can sleep on the sofa and it will only hold a single person. I think if I was in a double bed, it would hit me harder, because I'd be constantly wishing Deb was there, you know, all the time. Whereas here at night, sort of finish off about midnight, I might go on my phone for 10 minutes and then literally I will curl up on the sofa with the blanket over me and I'll be gone. Now, I'm not sleeping brilliant, don't get me wrong, that's one of the hardest things about the coping thing. I do wake up 5, 6, 7 times in the night, and it's very rare I have unbroken sleep. But that's something, again, that I've got to get used to coping with. And I think I'm never ever going to get over this. I'm never going to accept it and move on. It's never going to happen. Even though I'm only 52 and I could have another 40 years left, I don't know. But for me, the coping is going to last my lifetime. And I'm never going to take down the photos or take my necklace off with the ring on. I'm never going to stop talking about it and remembering it or nothing. Because as long as I keep them memories alive, she's alive. She is to me, you know. I mean, I'm still married. I know I'm classed as widowed, but I'm still married. To me, I'm still married. And I think it would be unfair for me to try and start a new relationship, because I'd feel like I was cheating on Deb. I know that sounds really, really strange. Some people will probably relate to it. Some people will be thinking, well, that's stupid because she's no longer there. To me, she is. To me, she is. She'll always be in my heart. She'll always be with me. Like I said, I have conversations with her at night, or if I'm sitting watching football, sometimes I'll start talking to her randomly about stuff. And it comforts me. It comforts me, and I like to think that somewhere she can hear what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying she can respond and start talking back to me, but she can hear what I'm saying. And that helps me with the coping. I don't need therapy. I don't need to go see a specialist. I'm not suicidal no more at all, in any way, shape or form. I get depressed, yes, but that's expected. I suffer with anxiety. I can't be around too many people. My CMT is really bad at the moment. I'm having a job grip stuff or pick things up, and my balance is shocking. But I'm alive. I'm alive. And if you can get through the grief and you can get to the coping stage and be grateful that you're alive, and that some people are not so fortunate, because I always think there's a lot of people a lot worse off than me. When I start feeling like I've got the worst feelings in the world, then I'll know it's time for me to just say, nah, that's it, forget it. But I don't, because I always know there's somebody who's gone through worse. There always is, and there's always going to be somebody who will go through worse. Now, if me talking like this can help somebody to say, oh yeah, I get where he's coming from now with the grieving thing and the coping, then I'm happy about that. Because the one thing I can say is I've experienced it. I've experienced all sorts of stuff. I've experienced abuse, both physical and mental. I've experienced bullying. I've experienced gambling addiction, which I used to be. You know, I used to be a gambling addict. I've experienced being widowed. and living on my own now and coping on my own. So for somebody at 52, you know, there's a fair bit of experience there. I mean, I haven't travelled around the world. I haven't been up top of Mount Everest or been across the Great Wall of China or nothing. But I've had life experiences which I can then pass on information and say, look, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to give you a load of old blarney that I've heard on the internet. I can tell it like it is because I've lived through it. And I'm still living through it. And I've got to spend the rest of my life now living through it, which could be a day. It could be 40 years. I do not know. But all I know is that when it's my time, I will go knowing that I have coped and that I've been the man that Deb would want me to be. And I'll be proud of that. I will be really proud of that. And that's what I think coping is all about. Coming to terms with a new life and basically starting again, which has been the biggest thing. You don't expect to be restarting your life when you're 52, but I have done. Well, 51 obviously when Deb passed away, bless her. And it's coming up to almost a year, believe it or not. It is the 23rd today, which means in 9 days my wife has been passed away for 1 year. And that year has been the hardest year of my life. But I'm coping. Right, on that note, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the unboxings. I hope you've enjoyed the talk. I hope in some way I've helped people to understand what my coping is all about. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the footage of my daft mutt dog, who I had to say goodbye to. And I will do another vlog in precisely 8 days' time, because it will be the 1st of December and it will be my first vlog of my advent calendars. So you all take care. Thank you for watching and bye for now.